Morning students, in the previous class we have discussed how to install the software and how to work with the software and what are the different menus available to write the program, to execute the program, and how we can debug it, what is the file extension to be used for the mnemonics code program and C programs. Okay, in this class, before writing the program, we need to frame the rules for writing your assembly language. Okay, in this, the first rule is each label must be unique. Here we are using each label must be unique, and the name used in the label in the assembly language alphabetic, it could be either both uppercase or lowercase, digits, special character, question mark, period, at symbol, underscore symbol, and dollar sign. First character should always be an alphabetic character, and reserved words must not be used as a label. Label in the sense where we will be using in case of subroutine programs. Suppose if we are writing a subroutine programs, we will be making a loop. Suppose if you are saying loop, so it is your label. Okay, it could either be your it can be a lowercase number or uppercase number or any special characters you can use. Okay, this is the rule for framing writing your assembly language program. Okay, next is your assembler directive. So assembler directive is nothing but it will tell the assembler to do something other than creating a machine code or an instruction. So we will have a directive like by default directives like ORG, END, like this we have some assembler directive. What these assembler directives will do in the sense, it will tell the assembler to perform some operation rather than creating a machine code or an instruction. It will tell the assembler to perform some operation instead of creating a machine code or an instruction. In case of your assembly language programming, the assembler directive instructs the assembler to process the subsequent assembly language instruction, defining program constant and reserve space for your variables. These three things your assembler directives will perform. So there are different assembler directives. In that, the first one is your ORG. ORG is your first assembler directive. It represents the origin. Suppose if you are writing ORG 0400H means after this whatever program you are writing it starts from the memory address 0400H. For example, in this program, we have started with ORG 500H. It means that if you are not specifying H over here, it will become a decimal number. Suppose if you are representing a H, it is a hexadecimal number. After ORG, whatever it is represented, it will specify the address. So we can specify any address from 0000H to FFFFH. So once this program, after your assembler sees this instruction, after this whatever instruction you are writing, it will start from your 500H. So after this data 1, so it is your data 1. DB is nothing but your defined byte. Well, after defined byte some number is available, but after this nothing is there. Suppose after a number, if you are mentioning it as H, then it represents a hexadecimal number. Or if nothing is mentioned, then it becomes a decimal number. If you mention B after a number like 01011100, then it is going to be your binary number. In the first one, you have defined the data, that is defined byte. DB stands for defined byte. Data is 28. It is going to be your hexadecimal data. Second one, data 2. DB stands for defined byte. After this, some binary number it is written and ended with B, so it is a binary number. The conversion for this binary number is 35H, that is 35 hexadecimal. And if you wanted to specify a hexadecimal number, then you can write DB, that is defined by 39, any number followed by a H symbol. So after ORG is nothing but origin. It indicates the starting address. It can be used only when the program counter needs to be changed. Suppose if your program counter is already having some address and if you are continuing with that, then the program starts to get stored after the program counter address. In case if I wanted to change the program counter address, then I have to use the term called ORG500H. One more example also we can see. Suppose if I wanted to represent a ASCII number instead of hexadecimal or instead of binary or instead of hexadecimal, if I wanted to represent a hexadecimal number, then we can use this one. That is, inside the quote you can use the number. It is the representation for your ASCII number. Suppose if I want to display my name is Ramya. So here I wanted to use within the quote. So it is a ASCII character and this is your ASCII number. This is how your ORG is an assembler directive which is used to indicate the starting address. This particular instruction is used only when you want to change the program counter address. So after this ORG, whatever instruction it follows, it starts from the address specified after ORG. This is the basic idea behind ORG instruction, that is ORG assembler directive. The next assembler directive used is EQU and SET. So EQU and SET, in the sense EQU stands for it is equation, SET stands for it is a set directive. EQU means equating some variable to a value, like in C, A is equal to 25. So if you do like this, in case of your C, that is assigning a value to a variable. Here instead of this, we will be using it as equate. Count is the variable. You are equating the variable count to a value 25. Suppose if I wanted to write the EQU assembler directive for this particular instruction, I can write it as A EQU 25. It means that A is a variable assigned equated to a value 25. This is how you need to use this equator. Set directive means it is used to, it allows the redefinition of the symbol at a later stage. For example, here after using this count EQU 25, after this any number of instructions can be there. Later you are using move R3 hash count, means whatever data you have in this count, that is count is a variable, whatever you have in that count variable, that is moved on to your register R3. Next is your set. So set directive, what it will do in the sense, it will redefine your symbol. For example, pointer set R1. So here your pointer set R1, counter equate R3. It means that whatever value you have in R3, that will be equated to a variable counter. N equate 35H. Move R3 hash N means whatever you have in the value N, that will be moved on to R3. This is how you will be using your set assembler directive. Next is your define byte. Define byte already we have seen in the example of ORG. There are different ways of representing your number. One is your hexadecimal number, second one decimal number, third one binary number, fourth is your ASCII number. Suppose if I wanted to represent your hexadecimal number, the number is followed by H, define byte. Suppose if I wanted to represent a binary number, I can represent it as DB in the form of 0101 like that. In case I wanted to define decimal number, I can write it as DB28. If I wanted to represent any ASCII number, I can write it as define byte. Okay, inside the quote I can write any number. So if I write like this any number, then it represents your ASCII. Then it represents your ASCII number. Suppose if I wanted to represent a ASCII character, consider I wanted to represent a ASCII character. At that moment, I can write define byte. So in between the quote, you can write hi. So if you are representing like this, then it is called as your ASCII character. So define byte, it is a directive. DB is nothing but your define byte. It is a directive to represent or to store only a 8-bit of data. Only 8-bit of values can be stored in this define byte. The number can either be your hexadecimal number or binary number or decimal number or ASCII number. It could be of anything. The last one in your assembler directive is end directive. So end directive in the sense, after this whatever instruction you are writing, suppose if you are writing at the end of the program, you are writing it as end instruction. After this you are writing it as MOV R3, #55. So none of the program, that is your assembler, will not encounter any more instruction once if it encounters your end instruction. So it is the last signal, it is the last line of your program. Therefore the end directive signals ends the complete assembly module. It is the end of your assembler. After this whatever instruction you are writing, it will be ignored by your assembler. So far we have seen 4 assembler directives. One is your ORG. So first one what we have seen, it is your ORG. Second one define byte. Third one equate, that is EQU or set. Okay, and the last one is your end directive. So all these 4 assembler directives so far we have seen with an example. In the next class we will see the instruction set, what basic thing is required in the instruction set, and what are all the different instructions, different types of instructions we have, that we will discuss in the next class. Thank you students.